Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Karen. In summer, she had to go barefoot, and in winter, her thick wooden shoes would make her ankles red from chafing. Old Mother Shoemaker from the village used scraps of red cloth to make a pair of clumsy but well-meant red shoes for Karen. The first time Karen wore her new red shoes was on the day of her mother's funeral. Though they were not suitable for mourning, they were all she had, and so she wore them. A large old lady in a carriage saw Karen, pitied her, and asked the parson to give Karen to her so that she could take good care of her. The old lady thought the red shoes were hideous, so she burned them. Karen was given proper clothes, learned to read and sew. People said she was pretty, but when Karen looked in the mirror, she thought, "You are more than pretty, you are beautiful." One day, the Queen and her daughter, a princess, travelled through the country. Karen was impressed when she saw the little princess wearing a pair of splendid red Morocco shoes. When Karen was older, she went with the old lady to a shoemaker to get measured for new shoes. In the shop, she saw a pair of red leather shoes just like the princess's. The shoemaker said he made them for a count's daughter. The old lady bought them for Karen without realizing they were red because they shined so much. Karen wore the red shoes to church for her confirmation. Every eye was on her feet as she walked to the altar. Even during the solemn ceremony, when the pastor laid his hands on her head, all Karen could think about was her red shoes. After the service, the old lady was told the shoes were red and scolded Karen for wearing them to church. She said she should wear black shoes in the future. The next Sunday, Karen looked at her black shoes, then at the red ones. She decided to wear the red shoes, despite the old lady's warnings. On the way to church, they met an old soldier with a long red beard. He said, "Oh, what beautiful shoes for dancing! Never come off when you dance." In church, Karen's attention was still on her red shoes. She forgot to sing the psalm and say the Lord's Prayer. As Karen was leaving church, the old soldier said again, "Oh, what beautiful shoes for dancing!" Then she began dancing uncontrollably. The coachman caught Karen and put her in the carriage, but her feet kept dancing and kicking the old lady until she took the red shoes off. At home, the red shoes were put away, but Karen would still look at them often. The old lady was sick. However, when Karen received an invitation to a ball, she couldn't resist. She put on her red shoes and went to the dance. At the ball, the red shoes danced on their own, carrying her down the stairs, into the street, and out of the town. Karen danced into the woods and saw the red-bearded soldier again. He nodded and said, "Oh, what beautiful shoes for dancing!" She tried to remove the shoes, but they were stuck. She had to dance over fields and valleys day and night because the shoes controlled her. She danced past a graveyard, then saw an angel with a sword guarding the church. The angel told her, "Dance you shall, until you are pale and cold. Dance always." Karen danced until she reached the executioner's house. She called out, "Come out, strike off my feet with the red shoes on them." The executioner cut off her feet with the red shoes. The shoes danced away with her feet into the forest. The executioner gave her wooden feet and crutches. Karen repented and tried to return to church, but her red shoes danced before her, stopping her. She cried and felt sorry, but when Sunday came, she was still scared. she felt the shadow of her red shoes following her. Karen tried to go to church again, but the red shoes frightened her away. She repented again with all her heart. Karen asked the pastor for work. She worked hard at the parsonage, listened to the pastor read the Bible, and was faithful. When the children spoke about beauty, Karen shook her head, knowing true beauty is not on the outside. When Sunday came, she refused to go to church. She sat alone, listening to the church music, with tears in her eyes. Then the angel appeared again. The room grew big, and she saw the church around her. She was accepted. Karen was filled with light, joy, and peace. Her soul went to heaven, where no one questioned her about the red shoes.